Time to talk style and fashion. Hello to you, Dominique Wolf, the style coach.
Hello to you, ENF. How are you today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm exceptionally well, thank you. I've been doing quite a lot of corporate stuff, and the resounding questions are, how do I dress my body shape? And it's not a difficult thing. So I want to go through a few body shapes, give a few tips, give a few suggestions, and help you decide what body shape you are, especially with online shopping these days as well. If you don't know what body shape you are, you can't really shop online successfully. You'll see now when I talk about the different body shapes, which are apple, pear, strawberry, rectangle, and hourglass. If you don't dress them correctly, what you're doing is you're overemphasizing your bad features and you're not putting enough attention on what is really good on you. Okay, let's go to apple shape first. So if you're an apple shape, you have a larger waist. Your waist is larger than your bust and your hips, and you have probably good legs and slim legs, okay? And your shoulders slope. It is the most unfortunate body shape. It's not a difficult one to dress. So your challenge is to accentuate your waist but draw attention to your bust area and your beautiful legs without drawing attention to your middle. Okay, so what you want to be doing is you want to be wearing V-neck neckline, showing a bit more neck and bust. You want to be, at the bottom, you want to be wearing skirts that have got high-waisted skirts to give you a bit of a waist, with a bit of pleat detail. A bit of an A-line skirt's always good. Anything too low on the waist is going to accentuate the roundness. And what you definitely don't want to be doing, especially if you've got an apple shape and you're a bit shorter, is wearing something that is big on the top, tent-like on the top, something that doesn't give you any definition on the top, because all you're doing is making yourself look very round and making your beautiful legs just look like sticks. Okay, let's go straight on to pear. Pear shape is a very common body shape for women. It's when your shoulders are quite a bit smaller than your hip and bottom area. You've still got a good waist though. The ideal thing is to get your body into proportion at the top and the bottom. So because your pear shape is smaller on the shoulders, you want to be wearing a bit of frill, bit of detail on your top, some bows, a capped sleeve, a bit of a ruffled sleeve, anything that gives you proportion on the top and slims you down at the bottom. So you want to be wearing darker things at the bottom. You don't want to be wearing big flared bootleg pants, flared or bootleg pants, because all you're doing is accentuating the bottom and making the top smaller. And the worst thing you can wear for a pear-shaped body is a strappy top and then something big at the bottom, because then all you're doing is just making yourself more pear.
So that's apple and pear. Then there's strawberry you mentioned. That's an interesting one.
I know. There was a banana shape there, I just left it out and called it a rectangle rather.
Okay, cool. So let's talk strawberry.
Okay, so strawberry is where you have broad shoulders and a large bust in relation to your hips. So it's also could be called the inverted triangle. So what you're doing here is the opposite to the pear shape. You're trying to make the bottom half a bit heavier and more in proportion with your top half, because your shoulders are big already. Oh, sorry, with the pear shape as well, just to add in, wearing prints and a lot of color on the top is a good idea, because it just brings people's attention to the top, not to the bottom. So the opposite is true for the strawberry. You want to be wearing more plain things on the top, very little frill, very little detail, more soft fabrics, and then at the bottom, giving yourself a bit more shape, pleats, pockets. If you've got long enough legs, you can wear flared pants like flared culottes. That's a great look for a strawberry. Rectangle is a very athletic build. Some say it's the best body to have. I don't agree, but we'll get onto that just now. You have absolutely no considerable waist, but your hips and your shoulders are completely in proportion, and you've probably got good legs as well if you've got an athletic body, and there's no weight to lose really. So what you need to do here is you want to add curve. So you want to give yourself a waist. You want to add little belts in your waist. You want to wear a cardigan or a blazer with a button closed. You want to give the illusion that you have a waist, even if you don't have one. And you want to, you've got balanced out shoulders and hips already, but you want to give them some type of curve. So at the bottom, pleats and pockets again on your pants are a good idea. At the top, you could wear a bit of a cap sleeve rather than just a skinny vest. Anything that gives you a bit more proportion and shape. Okay, quickly, and the last one. The last one is, for me, the most amazing figure for a woman. It's curvy. It's called the hourglass figure. It's when you've got a good bust, you've got a tiny waist, you've got good hips. It's a womanly figure. And so what you want to do there is severely accentuate your waist It's there already, just wear things to accentuate it and just balance out the top and the bottom.
This is a lot of info for a short period of time. Does this get easier when you sit with somebody and talk about it?
You know when it'll get really easy? If you go onto my website and look at my blog, because I'm going to do a very picture-heavy blog on this, and it'll show exactly in very simple terms how to put the things together. One last piece of advice I can give is if you have something that you really don't like about your body, try not to wear something too big over it to cover it. Rather work with it and work with other parts of your body to balance out.
All right, Dom has all these tips and more if you want to get in touch with her. dom@thestylecoach.co.za. You take queries without charging. I mean, there's no no cost for that. dom@thestylecoach.co.za, and the website is thestylecoach.co.za. Dom, awesome advice. Thanks. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thanks, Ian.